Welcome to Art Ed Radio, the podcast for art teachers. This show is produced by the Art of Education, and I'm your host, Tim Bogatz. We talk all the time about how to engage our students, how to motivate our students, how to find new things that are going to interest them. And I think I found a really nice option for doing just that. And the person bringing it to you is Dwayne Edwards. Now, I was lucky enough to be introduced to Dwayne, who is the founder of the Pensole Academy, a footwear design school in Portland. He has a remarkable story from growing up in LA all the way to being the top designer at Nike and for the Jordan brand, and now starting his own school. And I'll let him tell you about his life, his career, and his school, Pensole, which is a unique place that is doing some incredible things. And one of those things is a new contest called Sneakerhead of State. It is a competition that has all kinds of options for designing sneakers, from footwear to graphics to color to apparel. And if you've got kids that are into art and into sneakers, it will be exactly what they're looking for. But like I said, Dwayne can tell you about all of this better than I can. So give us just a second here. He's on the line now. Let me bring him on and we'll talk about his school, his competition, motivation, mentorship, and all sorts of incredible things. Here's Dwayne. All right, and Dwayne Edwards is joining me now. Dwayne, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I am doing really well. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm really excited to talk to you today. And I guess probably a good way to get started is for you to just kind of share your background for everybody who's listening. So can you tell me about your personal story, I guess, where you come from, how you got started in design, and then, your career's been all over the place. So if you can just tell us a little bit about that, I think listeners would love to hear it.
Yeah, let me try to sum up 30 years in a few seconds.
All right.
I'm originally from Inglewood, California, and I grew up wanting to play professional basketball because that's where the Lakers played when they first moved to California, was Inglewood. So back then they didn't have the fancy practice facilities that they have now, so they actually practiced at my high school. And so every day I would see, the Lakers come and practice, so that the idea of being a professional athlete was staring at me almost every day. Unfortunately, I stopped growing at 6'1", and I was the shortest guy on my basketball team in high school. So luckily I was able to draw. And so I just dove into drawing, and I wanted to be an artist. And it wasn't until after I graduated from high school I found design. And before then, people only knew art, and those didn't know what design was. This is in the late 80s. And so I got my start as a professional footwear designer at the age of 19, shortly after graduating from high school. And worked my way up through LA Gear, designed product for a lot of NBA players back then. Left LA Gear, worked at a company called Skechers. Skechers had the licensing rights to design footwear for a new streetwear brand called Karl Kani Cross Colors back in the early 90s. Back then, I got a chance to work with Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Puffy, before they were big mega stars. So I was designing footwear for those guys in the early 90s. Did that for about 6 years, and then Nike came calling, asked me to move up to Oregon. Moved up to Oregon to design for Nike. A year into my Nike job, the Jordan brand asked me to join the Jordan brand. So I became the youngest design director in in Nike's history at 30 when I joined the Jordan brand in 2001. I was there for 10 years. Almost 11 years, and designed products for all the top Jordan athletes, including Michael himself. And during that time, Google happened, and the idea of being a designer was a bit more common, in the sense of kids would draw shoes and email them to me. And that led to me creating a design competition while I was in Jordan called Future Soul. And it was really just a way to discover new talent. and giving these kids a roadmap how to get into our industry, and did that for a few years. And I just loved the idea of developing people and mentoring people and guiding people. And so I decided to leave completely, left the industry, left the top spot in the whole industry to start my own school called Pensole. And Pensole's here downtown Portland, and we're the only footwear design academy in the world that teaches you everything from sneakers to high heels. And we work with some of the top footwear companies throughout the industry. And this year, actually just last week, we placed our over 400th former student into a job in the last 7 years.
Wow, that is really impressive. Yeah, I love that, and I actually want to talk a little bit more about Pensole, if you don't mind. I mean, because it seems to me like that's a big jump, going from the premier spot in footwear design to just kind of leaving that behind and starting your own company. So, can you talk a little bit about the motivation for starting Pensole? Like, why do you want to start a footwear design school? Like, do you want to open up those opportunities? Is it about like showing kids the roadmap, like you mentioned, or what is the motivation there?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. It was when I was a kid. I wanted to be a footwear designer, and no one knew what that was. No one knew where I should go to school to do it. There were no schools that taught it, and I was blessed enough to still get into the industry at an early age. And throughout that whole time, there were still no schools that taught it. And as I mentioned before, Google happened, and, so kids were able to start sharing their work with people and sharing it with me. And I just felt like it was more rewarding for me to design, look at, I guess, designing lives instead of designing shoes, where I've designed shoes for almost every person I've ever wanted to design product for. And once I started working with kids and seeing that light bulb turn on, and for them to be able to have the same experiences I was able to have, that was just so much more rewarding to me. And I just felt like that was my calling to do. That was what I was blessed to be able to have a long career to do. And plus, no one had done it before. And I knew it was an industry need. And so I just decided to take the leap of faith and go off and try to do this teaching thing that I never did before.
Yeah.
Especially since I actually never went to college for design either. So I never went to college for design. Ended up getting a design job, probably the top spot in the whole industry.
Yeah.
And I figured that was possible. So why not try this?
No, I like that, and I'm impressed by the fact that you don't have a ton of experience with when it comes to the schooling, the teaching aspect, but you've put together something that's really impressive. And Pensole has classes, you have a skills academy, all kinds of really impressive opportunities available for kids. So, can you describe, I guess, some of the opportunities that you have for high school students, and particularly kids who, are sneakerheads, kids who are interested in footwear design? Like, what do you offer them?
Well, what we offer our kids is a direct link to the company they wish to work for. So we teach you the way you will work at a company. We don't teach you the theory of anything. Everything that we do is really learned by doing, hands-on projects, actually real-time projects, where some of our programs, we partner the students directly with the company, and they work on a project that's directly for that company that could actually even be sold at retail as well. So we give them the experience of what it's like to work at a company without physically working at that company. And the part that I didn't mention is a big chunk of what I'm doing for Pensole is what I wish I would have been able to have done for myself, where being the youngest of 6 kids, not able to actually afford to go to college, I didn't want that to be a barrier for kids either. So the majority of everything that we do is free for students. So the companies pay for the students' tuition and their housing if they're coming from other parts of the country or in other parts of the world. But we're really trying to create that roadmap that they can see, like, hey, I have this artistic ability. Maybe I should redirect it in this sneaker thing that I love because I'm buying and trading and selling sneakers all day. Maybe I can take my hand at designing them and creating them. So we're kind of giving those sneakerheads another option, similar to when I was trying to play basketball. Now I have another option. I didn't make it to the NBA, but my shoes have made it to the NBA, and my shoes made it to Major League Baseball and to every NFL field and multiple Olympics. And so it's my sports dreams didn't die because I couldn't do it. It just manifests itself in a different way, and that's what I want to help kids understand, that there's options to living your dream. It just may not reveal itself. It may take a little time.
There you go. There you go. Now, I do want to kind of revisit, and I mean, still talking about Pensole and everything that you do. Something that you mentioned back in the first question was, the mentoring aspect. Yeah. And I know you have a lot of designers work in the industry. You said just 400 that you just placed, and a lot of them come back to mentor at Pensole and come back to help your current students. And so I guess the question I want to ask you is, like, why is the mentoring aspect so important to you? And what do you think the benefits are? Like, how does it help the students that you work with?
So I'm a product of mentorship. And without the mentorship and guidance that I received early on as a 19-year-old kid working at a big corporation, that's intimidating. And to have the owner of the company, actually, Robert Greenberg, have him take me under his wing. And once he set that example, then the other designers that I work with kind of, followed through with that as well. So I'm a product of mentorship. So I understand the importance of it. And when designing Pensole, that was the goal, was to be able to educate kids and get them to understand that someone gave you a chance and someone gave you an opportunity. And it's your kind of responsibility to also give that right back. And so you're absolutely right. All of our students come back and mentor and develop kids because they sat in the same seats that these new kids are sitting in. It's great for the new crop of kids to see them because they can relate directly to them by age, where I'm a bit older than them. But it's a beautiful thing to see, when you're just now educating a kid and say 2 or 3 months later, they're coming back to talk about, hey, this is my first month on the job. This is what it's like. Or someone is talking about their first year, or someone comes to talk about their 10th or 5th year, so having that valuable insights that you can't really get from school. Like, that part is the thing that helps you get a jump start on your professional career when you get an opportunity to get in, because they're giving you these little nuggets and gems that, this insider information that helps you prepare for that interview, prepare that portfolio, prepare for that first day or first 90 days. So it's invaluable, but it's ingrained in what we do, everything that we do, actually.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. So now I know that you're trying to open up a lot of these ideas, to kids just all over the country. You have this Sneakerhead of State competition going on right now, which is a great name, by the way. But can you tell us a little bit about the competition, the inspiration behind it, and like the reason that you wanted to do it, especially?
Yeah, so one of the things we want to do too is make education more fun and make it appeal to these kids, make it speak to these kids in the language that they know. And Sneakerhead of State it was a simple idea of, hey, I want to find the best sneaker designer in every state, and then pair them together to find the best sneaker designer in the United States. So being able to, and it's similar athlete model where when you play ball, you're like all city. And then you play with the all state kids, and then you play with the whole country, right? When you go to college.
Right.
So it's really getting these kids to see, like, you think you're good at this city level, but let's see how good you are in your own state. And then let's see how good you are with the whole nation. And it's really kind of that simple premise of giving these high school kids another outlet and giving it to them in a really simple format where it's all online. Like, all you have to do is submit a sketch online. Like, there's no curriculum. It doesn't have to go through the school process. I hope the teachers actually share it with their students, and maybe it becomes a curriculum project. But it's really trying to reduce the barrier of entry for them to see that there's alternative career paths that they may not have never heard of, but it exists in their whole circumference of everyday life, where these kids have sneakers. They go to the malls, they go to the sneaker stores, They always talk about, oh, it'd be nice if it was in this color. It'd be nice if it did this or did that. And I mean, some of these kids are making $4,000 and $5,000 a month, man, buying and selling sneakers.
Yeah, and I think as teachers, we're always looking to tap into that. Like you said, things that they're already interested in, things that are part of their world. And I think this contest does a lot of that. And on top of that, as teachers, we can appreciate that. You know, like you said, we want to bring the joy to education. We always want to make it relevant to our kids. And I think this contest does that. So we'll get it out to everybody. But, you know, just all the details, how people can enter, all that kind of stuff. But for teachers who are interested, who are saying, hey, this sounds good, I want to check this out, can you give us a few more details? You know, you said it's an easy contest to enter, but can you talk about kind of what it requires? And then I guess more importantly, the incentives for the kids, you know, what the possible awards are and right. Why kids should sign up or why they should enter?
Yeah, definitely. So the website, cliffstate.com, really simple. What we've done is we created 4 different areas for kids to participate in. They can participate in 1, 2, 3, or all 4. One of them is footwear design, and we give them an outsole template to use, and they just draw the upper. Another is color design, which is we give them a template they can download and just color it. The third one is apparel design. Again, we have a template for them to use to create a new product on. And then the fourth one is graphic design. So the reason why we're doing these 4 different tracks is because we want to try to meet the kids where they are, depending on their interest, right? And so we have these 4 different tracks. These are 4 different career paths that only one of them, graphic design, you can actually technically learn in college right now. The other, and apparel. The footwear design and color design, you can't actually learn in college. It's transferable skills. So we're trying to let them know, like, hey, this is a real career opportunity. So the way it works is we're launching it now nationwide. We're going to get in all the submissions. We're going to select the best 12 kids, 3 from each of the 4 tracks. We'll fly them. Before we fly them to Portland, we'll assign an online mentor to help them further develop their designs. And then we'll fly them to Portland. They'll spend 1 week with their mentors. We'll develop physical samples of their product. They'll get a chance to pitch their designs in front of design professionals. And the winning student in each of the 4 categories will receive a scholarship to attend our college program here in Portland, Oregon, in partnership with Pacific Northwest College of Art. So we have a 12-week session that they would receive a scholarship to, and then if they choose to stay for the other 2 years, then we'll also pay for that education as well. Schools, what we're trying to do is create some incentives and opportunities for schools to participate, where the school with the most submissions wins a cash prize. The school where the student actually the winning student actually attend, they win also a cash prize. And I think the best part for me, at least, besides the free education part, is that the winning designs will all be sold at retail on StockX.com. So the kids will have a chance to be able to see their product being made and sold for everybody to purchase.
Yeah, that is, I don't know, it's just such an incredible opportunity. And hopefully we can get it out to as many people as possible, because I think that's just awesome for the kids. So, Dwayne, thank you so much for coming on, telling us about everything you have going on and kind of sharing this opportunity with everybody, because I think teachers are going to respond well. I think they're going to love it. And I think more importantly, kids are going to love it as well. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate you as well. Have a great day.
That will do it for us. Now, we're going to link to everything that Dwayne talked about today, including the Pensole Academy and, more importantly, the Sneakerhead of State competition. So make sure you catch those links and make sure you get that opportunity in front of your kids. Okay, as Dwayne said, there are 4 different options available for that competition: apparel, color, graphic design, and footwear. If one of them is of interest to your kids, or if all of them are of interest, I would definitely encourage you to get them involved with this contest. They are going to love it. It's something really unique, and if your kids are into sneakers at all, this is a spectacular opportunity. So go to sneakerheadofstate.com to see all the details and get your kids registered. Check out how to make the entries. Okay. Also, as we were talking about motivating our kids, finding things that are interesting for them, I want to tell you about one of the Art Ed Pro learning packs that I filmed a while back called Creative Ways to Motivate Reluctant Learners. It's all about different ideas and different opportunities to engage our kids, whether that be through concepts or ideas or materials or just trying something new. Okay. And I kind of bring that up because I feel like this contest is something that would fit in pretty well. It's motivating. It applies to kids' interests. And, if you're looking for more ideas like that, okay, the learning pack is worth checking out. And since we're talking about Pro, I just want to tell you about how many different teachers are getting Pro subscriptions paid for by their schools. I've heard from teachers whose admins are using PD money. Some of them, some admins are actually buying subscriptions for all of their teachers instead of textbooks. And I mean, honestly, do you want a class set of textbooks that we all know are not going to get used? Or do you want something that is constantly changing, constantly improving, and continues to make teachers better? Hey, there are videos, there are resources that are immediately applicable. Hey, they show you how to improve your lessons and give you ideas and guidance for new concepts and new ways of teaching. And I don't want this to turn into a rant, but think about it, Pro is going to be so much more valuable than 30 printmaking books that you and your kids do not care about at all. And districts all over the country are beginning to realize this, thankfully, and hopefully yours can get on board as well. And they can check it out at theartofed.com/pro for schools. But anyway, go talk to your admin about getting Pro, and then go to sneakerheadofstate.com to get your kids registered for this awesome contest from Dwayne and from Pensole. And, use the competition as a supplemental assignment or a sketchbook assignment, or even something as an extra opportunity for the end of the year. For your advanced kids, it's perfect for after they turn in their AP portfolios. Just no matter your situation, long story short, you have some kids who are going to be interested in this. And make sure you also visit artedradio.com to see the show notes for this week, links for everything we talked about, and check out Pensole and the Sneakerhead of State competition. Like I said, we're always looking for new things to motivate our kids, to engage our kids, and get them excited about what we're doing. Okay, bringing joy to learning, like Dwayne said. And this is the perfect opportunity. Art Ed Radio is produced by The Art of Education with audio engineering from Michael Crocker. Now, you guys have been spoiled the last couple weeks, and I've been spoiled too, to be able to talk to some pretty famous people. Clara Liu last week, Dwayne Edwards this week, and unfortunately you're going to be stuck with Abby Shukai next week. But I think we're going to have a pretty enjoyable conversation about how you can keep kids from trashing your art room. So make sure you tune in next week, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks.